Jeff, tell me, you see people buying houses. There is plumbing that is good. There is plumbing that is bad. What are some of the things, what are some of the issues that people find or may find in their plumbing that, are repairable, are not repairable, are, hey, we need to replumb the whole house? I mean, how top to bottom and how various are the degrees of issues people find with their plumbing?
Degrees of issue range from absolutely horrible to impeccable. There's homes that, first of all, I recommend that you have a pre-inspection on your side sewer. Check running water, hot and cold on the right side, hot on the left, cold on the right. Pre-inspection on homes that are older, your 1920s, your 30s, your 40s, are going to have old galvanized pipe. That stuff's rusting out. It's going to leak. It's been repaired. How many times has somebody come in and cut out a section of pipe and put some Band-Aids in, and you're a potential buyer, you walk into this house and you get a person that says they're a home inspector. They go out and they just make sure that the water's flowing and that it looks good. Yeah, okay, everything's working. See you later. We try and get a little more in depth. We run video cameras down sewer lines so that when you come in, you don't have a $20,000 sewer repair in 2 months. Mm-hmm. We ensure that the water that's coming into the house has proper pressure, that it's clean, that it's free of rust, odor and taste. Those are things that people don't look at when they're buying a home.
Taste the water.
Yeah, I mean, it's a key thing. It'll tell you if you have old galvanized pipes, your water service may be old, leaching in from the ground. Who knows? There's many variables. Having a home inspection through a company saves you money in the long run. They're going to tell you exactly what's wrong with the home. They're going to tell you the good points and the bad points, and they're going to give you a prospectus on what it's going to cost to make these repairs after you move in. So now you have a little bargaining chip with your real estate agents. Let them argue this out. Maybe it'll save you some money in the long run. Not only do you have to look at your water, your sewer, look at your furnace, your electric heat. Is it baseboard heat? What's the bill going to be on this? How much money are you going to spend on heating the home if it's not a forced air system? Are you aware of this? People aren't aware of all these luxuries that we take for granted every day. As we were mentioning, the gentleman Scott earlier was in Cuba. And if they could come here and live in one of our lowest rent houses, it'd be a mansion to them. They'd love it. So people just need to look at, is the pipes going to fall apart as soon as I move in? What's it going to take to fix it? And is this something that I need to look at? Long term, what do I have to do to make this house a healthy house, as Scott says? And, plumbers do provide the sanitation for the nation. So I recommend to have somebody come out, do a home inspection, and just take a look. It's a valuable service that we provide.
Yeah, well, and especially if you talked about the side sewer, the sewer lines. Now, I lived in Queen Anne. First house I bought was in Queen Anne, and all of a sudden we ended up with they're digging you guys actually did it. You're digging a 12-foot hole. It's like a $20,000 sewer repair. I had to go out the back and down, dig up our neighbor's yard.
Absolutely.
And, it was quite the process. And to not know that you might be going down that path before you buy a house is,
That's the key point. Yeah. That's the key point. Get a video inspection done. At least okay, I've got an old concrete line. It's got roots, because people are supposed to do that thing, disclose the information of their house, of the past. They don't do it. They want to sell their home. They don't want to tell you that they've had their sewer line cleaned 3 times this year because it keeps backing up. It's hard to say. There's so many things that can go wrong after you move in. It's just, I can't key on it more, but nobody wants a $20,000 bill after they move in and buy their house and they put all their money into their down payment. Now what are they going to do? Have a house that doesn't have a sewer? They can't live in it, unoccupied?
Sounds like a cruise ship. Jeff McCoy joins us with Beacon Plumbing. So when you start, there's the sewer and the running water. Now you guys are also doing a lot with heating. You talked a little bit about people maybe not realizing how much different types of heating are going to cost them.
Absolutely.
That's something you guys can help with?
Absolutely. From electric, there's electric baseboard heat, which is the most expensive heat, $400 a month premiums on that in the wintertime. And people don't realize that when they buy that house. Oh, yeah, it's got electric heat. Okay, perfect. They get their first bill and they're like, okay, put on blankets. You want to make sure your furnace is in good, proper working order, that it's been serviced and that it's been tagged an approved furnace, that this is working and you don't have a broken heat exchanger. You're not spilling carbon monoxide into the home and endangering your family. Boilers, a lot of these older homes, Queen Anne, Magnolia, they have boilers that heat up the old radiators that we see. And you want to make sure everything's in proper working order. Otherwise, you're going to spend a bunch of money that if you spend a little now, it'll save you a lot in the future.
And I think the key that you're bringing up, though, is at least you know.
Right. That's the whole key is what do I have to work with? What am I buying or what do I have now? You know, this home, I want to upgrade. What are my can I go to a tankless water heater instead of an old tank heater? I want to free up some space in the garage. I've got a big jacuzzi tub, but I can only fill it a third with hot water because I don't have enough demand. So things to look at, you know, bigger water heater for bigger demand. Everybody's got the new house with the big jacuzzi tub and they can't take a bath because they don't have enough hot water. It's disappointing.
I would imagine. I don't have a jacuzzi tub, but if I did and I could not get enough hot water in it,
you'd be upset.
I would wonder why I have a jacuzzi tub. When you think about the plumbing, and I know a lot that Beacon kind of advertises for is more like, hey, you have a huge plumbing problem or electrical problem, get somebody out here. And that certainly is something that you guys do. But on
Absolutely.
the flip side, there's a lot of preemptive work so that you don't have to start freaking.
Correct.
And you can actually maintain a calm and normal life without flooding your basement before you start calling people.
Absolutely.
What are some of those preemptive measures people can take, and how do you help with that?
If people just want us to come out and evaluate their home, we can come out and do basically a whole house checklist. And we go through and we check pressure, we check gallons per minute flow through their faucets to ensure that when they turn on multiple fixtures that they'll have water at each fixture. We check their drains to make sure they're not leaking into the ceiling and that the water's actually draining out. Homeowners can just basically look themselves under the sink. Does it look like a rat's nest in there, or is it okay? You know, should I have somebody come look at it? If there's a doubt, call somebody. Call us out. We'll be more than happy to come out, give you a home inspection, take a look around, and tell you what you need to do and what's good and what's bad. There's multiple things that can help you there. We're not going to come out and try and sell you the big golden egg. You know, we're here to do the small job or the big job. It doesn't matter to us.
Well, and I think to that point, there's a lot of things that maybe you can use a Band-Aid for. There's certain things you can fix, but then there may be something like baseboard heating where you're thinking, well, geez, you know, over the course of the year, you can actually buy your new heater or new furnace and get it all installed. And it would take a year or two to recoup all that money, and now you've increased the value. So there's a lot of financials that go into that as well.
No, there is, and planning is huge. You know, customers that have old oil or electric baseboard heat, they need to look into more modern fuels. You know, more efficient fuels. 90% furnaces, 95%, things that are going to save them money in the long run. As you're saying, you know, do a little now. I keep coming back to it. You're going to save more later.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it just comes down to taking the time to at least know what you can about your house. I mean, a lot of people go in, they don't even know what they don't know.
Correct.
And it's very hard to fix anything if you don't even know what could potentially need fixing. And if you can't afford it now, at least you can create some sort of checklist of, hey, we know we're going to need this in a year or this in 3 years.
Right. Fix this now, right. And here's what you're going to need to do. It's just make sure that you have a licensed technician, you know, somebody that's been in the industry, that's licensed, insured, and bonded, that has a reputation in the neighborhood, somebody that's giving back to the community. You know, you don't want just some company to come in and tell you problems. You actually want to believe them. You want to trust in that person that's in your home. So we take a lot of strides at Beacon to have, you know, honest and ethical employees. Everybody's licensed in their field. And we come in and we give you a true evaluation of, you know, there's no BS about it. This is what's wrong and this is what's good. We can do this now, and this is what you need to look forward to the future.